Hello folks, and welcome back to Yorkshire Railway, and welcome back to another model railway layout update. So yeah, it's been a while, and I have been particularly busy, so you might be able to see behind here that we've got this weird space-aged tinfoil stuff. This is shed insulation. It's self-adhesive. I haven't hooked that one up yet, hence why it has fallen down, but the rest of them, as you can see, it all goes up there. There's a little bit that just needs sticking on there from an offcut. But yeah, it's self-adhesive, sticks to the shed walls, and basically will hopefully keep this place a little bit cooler during the winter and warmer during the summer. Warmer during the winter and colder during the summer. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to fry in here or anything like that, but yeah, it's been progress. Now I've done this on every single wall so far, as well as I have finished the cladding. So you might notice the back cladding is no longer streaky. It's because I have actually taken it off. I've painted it, as well as I have added this wall in particular, a little bit off cut, but I'm not a professional joiner, and I've got a little bit in the corners to do as well, but everything else is done. Had a bit of a rearrange up there with the Lego, but yep, shelves are back up now, and I've got walls, or proper walls should I say. So yeah, it's looking nice and smooth in here. One thing I was doing before I put the insulation in was I was putting in some expanding foam. You can see a bit of remnants from when I was putting it in, just to fill some gaps that have basically started going as the wood in the shed has contracted and it started showing a bit of gaps towards daylight. Now, hindsight is a lovely thing, but as you can see here, you can probably see this lovely mark here. I thought it was a good idea not to cover my track up, but I've moved all the locomotives. I dropped a little bit of expanding foam onto it, not much, and I sort of panicked. I didn't really, especially with it being on a point, I thought, oh, do I get it off whilst it's wet or do I let it dry? I went for the option of trying to remove it whilst it was wet, created a bit more of a mess. Ended up waiting for it to sort of dry a little bit. I pulled it off and there was a bit of residue left on. So what I decided to use was some of this, which is no nonsense foam gun cleaner. Hence by the whole point, it's supposed to, it's like an aerosol, and it basically removes expanding foam. The downside, and to anyone thinks this is a good idea as well, is that it melts plastic. Should be plainly obvious, but basically the sleepers on this particular point have all melted. It still works, so I can run trains, but aesthetically it doesn't look that great. All these sort of sleepers look a little bit warped and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not going to be keeping this point. Unfortunately, I've got to buy another one. But that's for a later date. Anyway, I've had a little bit of a plan as to what I'm going to do with this area here, and it was mainly this height between the top of my desk. So if anyone's not familiar with my desk, excuse me, it's a little bit of a mess. I have been cleaning up using some spare carrier bags, but yeah, basically it's a gaming desk. So I have main desk here. I've got, so there's a little bit here that's meant to be for a monitor, but I'm using it as a storage. And then at the top here, essentially do whatever you want with it, but yeah, it goes over the top and down, so it does leave a little bit of a narrow gap. But anyway, my main plan for what I was going to do here is I'm going to put a basically I've decided I'm doing a diesel depot. So what's going to happen is the trains, locomotives are going to come down here. It's going to split into a 4-way diesel depot, which is a laser cut model from Key Model World. So that is the one I'm going for with the office block. I've checked that this piece of wood is wide enough, and it is. There's a little bit of extra room around the sides, so that'll be great. As well as I checked the height, because I want to know how tall it will come up to, and it will fit by about, there's like an inch gap on the top, so I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, so that will be sort of towards the back here. So the office blocks will be here. We'll have a little bit of car park on the end, just to round off the scene. And then you'll have the four-way tracks here. There'll be a little space here, so the plan is trains in, four-way siding at the front, possibly maybe an extra one just on front of it, if I can. But definitely there's probably going to be room for 2 extra sidings going around the side of it. And that could be used for, you know, any sort of track maintenance vehicles or anything like that. I think that'd be a good place to put those on the layout, something like a breakdown crane or anything like that. And then we'll have a little bit of extra room for, you know, yard scenery and stuff like that. But I think that's what I'm going to do here, as well as I really want to put like the inspection pits and things in. Yeah, I think that'll be a really good scene to do. But yes, flipping round, I should probably show you the doors. So usually when I'm in here, under here runs an extension cable and sits on there. And then, I know it's not great, but that daisy chains into this extension cable. The both are trip, like they've got an electricity trip in there, so yeah, they're not going to blow the house up or anything. So that's why I've done it. And the extension cable that comes outside had a thermal one in it as well, so yeah, not worried about that. But anyway, you might have seen this blue cable, and that is because it's not fully tacked in yet, but I've now got a plug socket in the shed. So the shed's got power, and that runs behind here down and basically connects this extension lead here. So that is powering the lights and the track at the moment. So yeah, nothing too major. The lights are pretty low on power. They're LEDs, so yeah, not too phased about that, but they're quite nice and bright. So yeah, I'm really happy with the progress at the moment in the shed. It's the most annoying thing really has been moving the locomotive collection. I've moved this from here. This is where it has been, should I say. This is where I moved it to. So taking this off, I had to move them to there, to then move them back over here. And most of them were originally on here. So yeah, they've gone from there to there to there and then to here. The joys. But yes, finally glad that I'm at the point really I don't really need to move things around that drastically anymore. But today's plan, I'm hopefully going to start measuring out for the Cork, especially around the station area, because this area is more or less, it's finished. This is the final plan, and I'm fed up when I've had to get on top of the layout to re-screw things and stuff like that, because the track's not pinned down. It's moved ever so slightly every now and again, and certainly stuff isn't clipped together as it should have been. I've been around and redid that again, but it's a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm going to get the cork measured and cut out for this and glued down, and that way I can pin this section of track down, because this will be sort of finalised. I'm going to leave the rest of it unpinned for now, just because obviously I'm going to put the helix in at some point. Whether that is going to enter from that corner or this corner now, that is the decision really. It's more, I think, when I get to the bridge section that I've got planned across there, if I've got enough room to do it there. If not, I know that because of the way the track can go, I will have enough room to essentially create an extra cutout there if need be. So yeah, either that, we scrap it all together and I just take the locomotives on and off and remove the boxes from under here, and essentially we just store them all down here. That's always an option as well, but I'd rather have this as a live track as well. So yeah, and what I'm going to do as well is, whilst I'm cutting out the cork for the, I'm going to cut holes, drill holes for the point motors, because yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. Is I'll have these all point motored up. Some I'm a little bit wary of because obviously this one's further away, but these two are quite close, so I might have to have some surface mounted, but I'd like to, if I possibly can, have them under mounted. But we will see, because there are quite a lot of points here, and a lot of them are very close together. So it is what it is at the end of the day. If I have to have a surface mounted point motor, I'd rather have them all automated than having to do it manually. But yeah, I'm going to get the cork laid down and I'll show you what I'm working with. Okay, so there we go. We've got one sheet of cork down. So as you can see, there's a fair bit of excess going to be cut out. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw round the outlines, cut that out with the Stanley blade, and then I'll essentially cut that down into smaller strips, so it'll be a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, just to make it easy to fit. I'll start at one end, and what I'll do is I'll take this section of track off, I'll lay the glue down, and then stick to it. And then once it's down, essentially just get something heavy, weigh it down, wait overnight, and then we'll hopefully be good to go to put the track back down and pin it down. So yeah, I'll get to drawing around that and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I've drawn a Sharpie marker just around all the bits that need cutting out, and now I'm going to use the Stanley blade. I'm going to chop all this out, and then what I'll do is I'll pull out what's remaining, essentially just cut that into sections roughly the size of like the track. So like, say for instance where the diamond points are and the actual points themselves, yeah, I'll make a little note of where they're going, pull that out, that way it'll essentially just be like a jigsaw puzzle. One note I will say is this isn't staying. I am going to take it out and replace it with just a regular straight piece. So yeah, we'll no longer be having the ugly connection point. That's definitely coming out, and I'll be hardwiring the controller in for now. So yeah, big changes. But yeah, I'm going to get to cutting this out and I'll show you what I mean. As this is like my first time, I've never used cork before, I've never ballasted track before, so a lot of the firsts I'm probably going to do off camera and show you afterwards. Later, say for instance with like the diesel depot, I'll probably do a little bit more of a tutorial once I've got my sort of feet and know what I'm doing, sort of thing. So yeah, I'll get to doing that, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So there we go, we've got the rough outline done for the cork. There's a few bits on the flexi track. I decided to go wider than the line just because when I pin it down, I don't know if you can see there, but it's sort of flicking a bit that way. And when I bend it round to make the correct shape, it sort of, I wasn't sure basically where it was going to go. So I've left that one a little bit wider than I need to. I can always stick down more if I need to, but I'd rather try and do it right first time. And where the points go, I wasn't 100% sure really what to do, whether to cut into them or leave them as one solid piece. So I've decided to do that, but yeah, I was thinking what I'm probably going to do is actually I might leave the gluing down, because I want to know your thoughts on this. The track is enough to weigh this down. Obviously it'd be having glue on top of it as well with the ballasting. So do I really need to glue down this cork as it is now? Because this is basically the position it's going to stay in. So yeah, I was thinking, do I actually really need to glue this down, or can I just leave it? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to put some track pins in anyway. I know some people don't like them because they look ugly, and your track's going to be held down anyway. But yeah, I'd prefer to have it pinned down. So yeah, I'm going to pin it down, which will go through this and into the baseboard. So realistically, do I need to actually pin the cork down with any wood? Certainly I know on bits like this where it might be a bit harder to keep them straight and they might want to lift up. But yeah, I'm going to leave the gluing for this episode because I put that out to you at home. Do you think I should glue down the cork, or do you think I should just put the track pins in? Because at the end of the day, I can't see why that wouldn't work, but I'm going to go for people with experience. Glue down the cork, then pin the track, then ballast, or pin down the track and then just start ballasting. I'll let you know the result of that come the next video. But that is all from me today, guys. I'm going to basically continue doing this, so you might, when you come back, you might notice that a bit extra has been done. I'm going to try and get the whole station area finished, so that basically ready for the next video when it comes to either putting the pins in or taking it up and gluing it down, essentially. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.